So I live in New York City for about 10 years and I spend time in all the boroughs. But it was time for me to move out of the city and I was considering the nearby suburbs. And as a realtor, I help others do the same all the time. In this video, I'll be talking about the top nearby suburbs that you can consider to live in and what you need to know about each one of them so you can find the right one for you. Hi, my name is Betsy. I'm a real estate agent in Rockland County and surrounding areas. My channel is all about Rockland County, the surrounding areas and suburbs of New York. So if you want to stay connected, stay updated, click subscribe and stay put. If you're thinking about moving, I would love to help. Now, the first area, suburban lifestyle that we're going to touch base is actually Nassau County in Long Island. We're going to touch base on the North Shore, aka the Gold Coast. We have a great luxury real estate Long Island on the Sound. That's how they actually call it. There are some areas that you could say they are a little bit more affordable. However, it depends as to what you can get for your money, right? No matter where you go. Now, the proximity to New York City is not bad. It's like about 37 miles. However, because of the traffic, it can be an hour away, an hour and 30 minutes. Although in distance, it doesn't seem much because we have to go through the airport routes. It can be a little bit hectic most times. However, that doesn't stop people from loving Long Island. What is the beauty of Long Island is that we have beautiful beaches over there. Although many people that live there sometimes have a hard time when we have extreme weather, either too much snow or the water with the strong wind can be a little bit difficult to many homeowners. The average price point is in the 660s around there. Once again, it all depends as to what you can get for your money, something that might need a little bit more cosmetic work in or the size as well. However, you still enjoy this quiet life. You still have a nice yard, and especially many people who enjoy the waterfront will love the Long Island section. There is a lot of great restaurants in the Long Island area. It's very nice and quiet, but you still have some of the nightlife. It's a little city by itself, let's put it that way, but without the extra noise and the high toll buildings. From Long Island, if you're driving, you might have a longer commute if you're going to the downtown area or to the center in Manhattan. But if you're going to closer areas like Queens or even to Bronx and things like that, it might not be as long. Once again, it's all due because of the routes that you have to take to go to the city itself. From Brooklyn, it could be also a little bit difficult because of the traffic, because there is no direct lines to get to. However, many people who actually live in Long Island choose to take public transportation because it's very easy and it's actually fast access to get to the city. So that's not a bad thing. Long Island has a lot of beautiful places. The top areas are actually, of course, by the coast with the water. A lot of people just go there to enjoy the beach. They are very VIP. If you are not a resident of the area, there are certain places that they might not let you in unless you are being invited as a guest by somebody who actually has an ID that lives in the area. There are open beaches that you can go to and visit as well. But if you're looking to live in the area, it's good to know that it's not just anyone that is going to be there or can be there by you. There's quite some greeneries. There are some areas that are not exactly by the water, more like in the center of Long Island, and you do have a lot of greenery. They have quite some parks in there. The luxury real estate areas, the deeper into Long Island you go to past even Nassau County, the more pricey they might be. Some people may have heard about the East Hamptons and those areas. It all depends at the end of the day about square footage and the size of the lot that you're getting for the price. Now, when we go into the Westchester, it's bordered with Connecticut and it's also upper side of the northern part of New York, right? Now, Westchester has many different areas and its proximity without the traffic, comparing it, let's say, with Long Island that we just mentioned, is a big difference. So depending as to where you go, it could be 15 minutes, 20 minutes from the upper areas of Manhattan or the Bronx. So the proximity of Westchester is the main attraction and convenience for many people who are looking into the different suburban areas. Once again, it all depends as to what you're looking for in the sense of pricing, what's your budget like, what size of home you like, and also what is the cosmetic items that the house might need in order for you to decide or know what areas you might want to be in. If you're going to be in the closest part of Westchester, which is Yonkers, is a more populated area, same as New Rochelle, because they have a lot of colleges around the area. It's more populated per se. It's closer to the city as well. You still have like city life where the houses are more like neighborhood, closer to one another, but you still have a good amount of space for a yard or more square footage and even a quieter style of life drive than you would in any of the boroughs in New York City. Now, if you choose to go a little further up, then the further up you go, the quieter it's going to be. Now you have New Rochelle, you have Westchester, you have Wright, you have Chester, you have Purchase. So many areas that are not exactly in the lower portion, but more like in the middle of Westchester that you can enjoy and drive around and see. Westchester is very well known also for all the greenery that it has. It has a lot of parks that you can enjoy and go to. We made another video about just Westchester if you want to jump into more information about just this county for itself. But the further up you go, the more rural you go to Westchester. If you prefer to stay more into the neighborhood liking and you're not ready for that homestead lifestyle, then you might want to stay in the northern side of it. Now, we need to do a little bit research as to what do you like. Are you still into the nightlife style? Are you really ready for a more quiet style? Are you considering having your family over? What kind of things are important to you in order for you to determine which town might be the best town for you and your family? Now, Westchester, depending as to where you're going, the size of home can be in between the $700 price point. Now, once again, it depends as to where. There are some areas in Westchester that are luxury living that the minimum price point is 1.2 million. It could be a little bit pricey because of the taxes in Westchester. It all depends as to where you're going to be, but you are still saving on the city tax because there's no city tax. Yonkers does have city tax, but the rural part of Westchester don't because they are not considered, the proximity to the city is not as much. Now those areas are already 42 an hour away. Westchester is one of the most desired counties because of its proximity, like I mentioned, and also because of the easy transportation. Because from the city, we still have plenty of buses that go especially to the lower portion of it, as well as the Metro North that goes all the way up till the end of Westchester County. So it's flexibility and it's comfortable to do it and get there. Many people choose to stay in the Westchester side. Now, once again, it needs to be within your budget. Now, the next area that I will say proximity wise to New York City has a very high demand. And I personally moving here because when I first was considering where to go, my top areas were Connecticut, Westchester, and Rockland County because how close they were to the city. Now, affordability and the style of life that I chose for myself, I ended up going to Rockland County. I did live in Westchester for a short period of time. I have family in Connecticut. I visited Connecticut considering certain locations and they were not a fit for me at that time. And I'm very happy to be where I'm at right now. Rockland County is where I live right now. And in my opinion, it's a great location. Many people see Rockland County as part of Jersey. It's not, it's still part of New York. Now it's very suburban. It's quieter than Westchester. We don't have nightlife. Westchester does, for example. But if you are into nature, if you are into hiking, biking, and all of that great stuff, the lakes, the water, and all of those kind of lifestyle things, then Rockland County might be a great place to be. Now, why Rockland County is also top of the line when people are considering moving out of the city is because of its affordability. Distance-wise, on the southern part of Westchester and Rockland are very much the same. Is very similar, but the difference is that the taxes and the price point of homes are cheaper. So the affordability in Rockland County gets to be a little bit more. Although Rockland is a small county, we will have only about like 300,000 people. It's a warm community and it's still close. And once again, it's so much to enjoy when it comes to the outdoors and the nature. The average price point in Rockland County is about $598. It depends as to where you want to be. Rockland has many different sections. If you want to be by the waterfront, if you want to be in the center, for example, there is an area that is very popular, which is called New City, where there is a lot of luxury properties as well. We have the Piermont by the water, the Nyack, so many different sections. But now if you want to be closer to the state park, which is Harriman Park, then prices start going down. The further up you go, the less you pay for more you have. So at the end of the day, how big I want my house, how much cosmetic am I willing to do? Do I want a brand new house kind of thing? So it all depends. Now, it is easy to get to New York City driving distance. There's barely any traffic ever. Once you get into the city, that's when you will come up for traffic. Now, one small con on the transportation is that comparing it to Westchester and the flexibility to take the Metro North, we do have some stations where you need to do transfers. So it might not be as fast as the line in the Westchester side. A lot of people choose to do the park and ride, get on the train on the lower side of the Rockland County, and then just let the bus drive them from there or take the train. It's very close to New York City as well. It's really quick to get into the city without occurring much traffic. We have many towns that are walkable. Like I mentioned, New City is one of the most known areas, but we also have Suburbs. We have also the Estrella area. We have Stony Point. Every little area, every little town has like a little downtown area that you can go and have all the shopping mall, the small walking areas, the play areas, and plenty of parks to enjoy around. Now, those people who might be considering Rockland County and still have a tight budget might go a little further up, an extra couple of minutes up, and then they jump into Orange County. If you're coming straight from the city, the first city of Orange County is very much the same in distance as the last place on Rockland, which is Stony Point. Now, it is already a little bit more rural, still not farm style, but it's more of a homestead life. Everything is 10 to 15 minutes drive. There is very little public transportation from Orange County. We do have the park and ride. You can go take bus to the city. Not all the towns have that option. So many people actually will drive to the Woodbury area to take our Harriman, which is Monroe portion of it, and then take it from there. Now, Orange County is huge. Where in Orange County you want to be will depend the distance. The closest drive to Orange County is an hour away from the city, but you have areas that are 2 hours away because they make border with Pennsylvania. Now, if you're ready for the homestead life, quiet, and you want to have chickens and everything else, Orange County might be your place. We have so many amazing farms. There is a lot of wineries. There is a lot to enjoy, especially to those people. I enjoy nature, so I do enjoy and love Orange County. We have a video for each one of the suburban areas that we have mentioned in here, so make sure to go check them out as well. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. We also have the next area that is close by as a suburban section that is considered when people are coming from the New York City metropolitan area is Connecticut. I personally, since I lived on the upper side of the city, I was considering Connecticut because I thought it was close by. It was like an hour and 15 minutes. Those are the first town in Connecticut. Now, if you are able and you want that extreme luxury life, go for it. The average price point on the first town of Connecticut is actually $1.2 million in the Greenwich area over there on Fairfield County. Now, most people actually have an hour and a half drive distance, but if you take the public transportation, which is the biggest plus when we are going to Connecticut, which is the Metro North. The straight line from Connecticut makes it so easy for many people to come and go from the city. Now, around an hour and a half is the time that people will consider. Connecticut has lower taxes, which is one big reason why people move there. The affordability of the home is made much easier because of the lower taxes for itself. Now, if distance is a big thing for you, then you might want to reconsider, because if you are not in the luxury 1 million and up, then you're gonna go into the deeper areas of Connecticut, and then that's definitely over an hour and a half. I consider myself, I did the drive. I didn't enjoy it. I wasn't thrilled about it. I have family members who, when we go visit or they come visit, it's like about an hour and 45 minutes, and they do that commute every day. And now it needs to make sense and work for you and your family. So those are things. The average price point in Fairfield, for example, is in the $540 around there. And if it is in the Greenwich area, depending as to where, how big is the house, what's the condition of it, it can be up to 1.7 on average. It could be more, it could be less, right in there. Now, it is very easy to get to New York City. You can drive or you can take the train on the Metro North. Connecticut has a lot of great things like the zoo. They have a great museum that I personally enjoy and love going to. And they have a lot of nice beaches as well. So that's another place that you can explore and consider. There are so many options to choose from. And the next one that we will explore is actually going across the river. We're gonna go to New Jersey, the North Bergen portion of it. Now, depending as to where you are in the city, New Jersey is pretty close by. As soon as you cross the bridge, you can be there within 15 minutes. If you're going, for example, to the Fort Lee section, you have on average price point is like about $575, which is not bad, especially for the proximity. Now, a lot of people don't enjoy the traffic going across the river. I know I don't enjoy it as much, especially that the George Washington Bridge is now $18, $17 each way. So let's say that you have several people driving different time of the day and you're not going to be carpooling, it can get to be an extra cost a month to many. Now, another thing that a lot of people don't enjoy from having to be on the Jersey side is that they end up having to pay 2 state taxes. Now, if that's something that you would like to consider, it's always good that you talk to your accountant to make sure that you can build that into your budget and your price point and everything else. So those are little things that sometimes we miss. New Jersey has so many great things. Fort Lee, for example, is the closest town, is very walkable. There's a lot of things to do. Now, the average price point, like I mentioned, is in the 5 and change. Now, those are for smaller single family homes or condos, because the price point for bigger homes tend to be more on the pricey point. It all depends as to what you're expecting to get for your home. And once again, when you are evaluating the different areas, you need to consider what is the lifestyle that I want to have. Because when you're leaving the city, are you still expecting to go to lounges? Are you still expecting doing certain things that you currently do? Or am I ready to have a more quiet lifestyle? The same thing as to what do you prefer? Do you want an area that is more neighborhood, closer community, or do you want to have a little bit more space, more yard, and maybe a little bit bigger space when it comes to the home itself? So those are things that is good for you to take into consideration. And so if you're thinking about moving from New York City into any of this area or anywhere, feel free to reach out. I hope this video provided you with some perspective. It can give you some guidance, and let me know what you think. Write it in the comments, ask me any question, call me, text me, reach out. Try to stay updated. Don't forget to go to the other videos so you can have more information about each one of these areas, and have a great day.